I built what I thought was the perfect tomato bed, and it completely failed right in the middle of summer. Everything I planted to help my tomatoes actually destroyed my harvest. Basil, garlic, marigolds, onions, carrots, lettuce, all of it backfired. I want to tell you exactly what went wrong, and more importantly, what I learned after 3 years of failing. Most gardeners get this wrong. I used to believe this too. Here is the truth they do not tell you in those neat little companion planting charts. Most of that advice is backwards, or at least incomplete. And if you are over 50 and you have been gardening for decades like me, you have probably made the same mistake without even knowing it. Today, I am going to save you a whole lot of trouble. Let me start from the beginning. 3 years ago, I read all the books. I watched all the videos. I learned that tomatoes hate competition but love protection. That made sense to me. At least that is what I thought. So I designed what I called my dream bed, and I planted everything. Basil for better flavor and to repel pests. Basil gives off a strong smell that aphids and whiteflies cannot stand. Some gardeners swear by it. I planted it thick. I thought it made sense. It did not. Garlic around the edge to fight blight. Garlic is a natural disinfectant. In theory, I believed it. I was wrong. Marigolds on the sides to stop nematodes. Those are microscopic worms that attack tomato roots. You cannot see them, but they can kill half your crop before you notice anything wrong. Onions and carrots between the rows. Shallow roots. Deep tomato roots. No competition, right? That is what I thought. And lettuce to cover the bare soil, keep moisture in, block weeds. It looked perfect on paper. I was proud. I showed my neighbors. They wanted to copy me. For the first month, everything was great. Dark green leaves, thick stems, lots of flowers. Then came the crash. Right when the tomatoes started to set fruit, everything stopped. The little green tomatoes stayed little. Pea size, day 1, day 3, day 7. Nothing. I watered them. Nothing. I fed them wood ash. Nothing. I gave them weed tea. Nothing. I loosened the soil. Nothing. I sprayed the leaves. Still nothing. I tried eggshells around the base. Nothing. I tried coffee grounds. Nothing. I even tried talking to them. I know that sounds silly, but I was desperate. Nothing worked. Not even close. I ran out of ideas. My perfect bed had turned into a frozen disaster. Basil did nothing. Garlic did nothing. Marigolds just sat there. I felt stupid. I had showed off this bed to everyone, and now it was failing right in front of me. I panicked. Here is what nobody tells you. Here's what I figured out after a lot of digging and a lot of frustration. I created a false ideal. The bed was too crowded, way too crowded. I got so excited about helpful neighbors that I forgot about space. And the plants were not fighting over food anymore. They were fighting over light and air. Let me break it down for you. Short and clear. Basil, good in theory. At least that is what I believed. But it has strong roots. It sucked up too much water. My tomatoes got thirsty. I did not see that coming. Basil is not a small, delicate herb. It can grow into a small bush, and I planted it everywhere. Garlic. Good in theory. At least that is what I thought. But in crowded beds, garlic tends to compete for nitrogen. And nitrogen is what tomatoes need to grow leaves and stay strong. Garlic was supposed to help. It did not. Every clove of garlic I planted was stealing food from my tomatoes. Marigolds. Good in theory. Here's the surprise. The tall varieties grow over 30 centimeters high. They created shade. Tomatoes need full sun. I blocked my own sun. I did not expect that one. I thought marigolds were always helpful. But they can be bullies if you let them. Onions and carrots. Good in theory. But planted too close, they competed for phosphorus. Phosphorus is critical for flowers and fruit setting. My tomatoes could not set fruit properly. That one hurt. I watched the flowers fall off with nothing underneath. And lettuce. I did not expect this one. This was the quiet problem. Lettuce grew so thick it trapped moisture right above the soil. Too much moisture. Root rot started. Lettuce looked harmless. It was not. It created a wet blanket over the whole bed. But this part surprised me even more. The problem was not any single plant. They all worked together. Basil dried the soil. Garlic killed the nitrogen. Marigolds blocked the sun. Lettuce made everything humid. Together, they created the perfect conditions for failure. Everything that was supposed to help was actually hurting. I forgot the most important rule. Good neighbors are not about how many you plant. They are about distance and moderation. So I fixed it. Here's exactly what I did. First, I took a step back. I looked at the bed and admitted I had made a mistake. Then I started removing plants. I removed every second basil plant. I left the strongest ones and pulled the rest. That gave my tomatoes back some water. Second, I transplanted the garlic to the very edge of the bed. I moved them 15 centimeters away from the closest tomato. That stopped the nitrogen competition. Third, I left marigolds only around the perimeter. I pulled out the ones growing between the tomatoes. That opened up the sun again. Fourth, I pulled out some onions and carrots. I left them only in the spaces between rows, at least 15 centimeters away from the tomatoes. That gave phosphorus back to the fruits. Fifth, I ripped out all the lettuce, every single leaf. I replaced it with straw mulch. Straw lets water through but stops the humidity trap. It also keeps weeds down without competing. And slowly, it came back. 2 weeks later, the tomatoes came back to life. The fruit started swelling. New flowers appeared. The harvest was saved. I learned my lesson. Or so I thought. But I made one more mistake. And this one was bigger than the first. For the next 3 years, I kept planting tomatoes in the same bed. I changed neighbors. I changed fertilizers. I tried different varieties. I rotated basil to the left and garlic to the right. I tried different marigold species. Nothing worked long-term, and every year the harvest got smaller. Year 1, a bucket per plant. Year 2, half a bucket. Year 3, just a couple of kilograms. I blamed the seeds. I blamed the weather. I blamed the pests. I bought new varieties. I tried new layouts. I added compost. I added manure. I added bone meal. Nothing worked. And then it hit me. I was treating the symptoms, not the cause. The soil was exhausted. Diseases built up. Pests multiplied. Fertility dropped. Soil structure fell apart. No fancy plant neighbors could save a tired garden bed. That is when I finally understood. The best neighbor for tomatoes is not basil. It is not garlic. It is not marigolds. The best neighbor is crop rotation. Now every year I change where I plant my tomatoes. On the old bed I plant cover crops. Mustard, phacelia, oats. These plants heal the soil. They suppress diseases. Their roots loosen the earth and add organic material. I let the bed rest for a full year. Only then do I bring my tomatoes back. And guess what happens then? Basil works like it should. Garlic does not cause harm. Marigolds actually protect. Onions and carrots do not compete. Because healthy soil is the foundation. Without it, all the advice about good neighbors is useless. But here's the twist, and this is important. Even with crop rotation, my best harvests did not come from the beds where I calculated everything perfectly. My best beds came from the places where I stopped making things complicated, where tomatoes simply got space. Good soil, stability, no long lists of helpful neighbors, just tomatoes, mulch, and resting earth. Here's the hard truth. Most companion planting advice online is completely backwards. You do not need more plant neighbors. You need less interference. Let me give you an example. Last year I planted 2 beds. One bed had all the perfect companions. Basil, garlic, marigolds, onions, carrots. I followed every rule. The other bed had just tomatoes and straw mulch. Nothing else. Same soil, same water, same sun. The bed with nothing else gave me 30% more tomatoes. 30%, no basil, no garlic, no marigolds, just space. That changed how I think. I no longer think in terms of neighbors at all. That is a thinking mistake. I think in terms of space, soil, and time. Neighbors only show up after all the main questions are solved. And if you have not solved those main questions, no amount of basil will save you. Tomatoes do not like being alone, but they also cannot stand chaos. The worst thing you can do is believe those neat little lists from the internet. First comes space. First comes soil. First comes crop rotation. Then maybe come the neighbors, or maybe not. Because sometimes the best neighbor is no neighbor at all. If this helped you, share it with someone growing tomatoes. That is how good gardens spread. Thank you for watching. Now give your tomatoes some space.